What's going on YouTube? It's JB Techfanatic and I'm back again with another video. As always, let me start this video by thanking each and every one of you for joining me today. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I would be so honored if you would consider doing so. And please, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up. And if you want to know when the latest content is available, don't forget to click the notification icon. Now, this is part 2 on the Samsung WQHD 21:9 ultra-wide monitor. Now, I want to stress that this is part 2 because if you want to know about all the specs in detail, please check out part 1. The cards, you can click on them here and you can check that out. But basically on that video, I covered all the specs so you know exactly what you're getting. And today we're going to look at this bad boy in action. I'm going to go through the settings menu on the monitor itself. That way, if you decide to purchase it, you can know exactly the experience I was getting because I'll show you my settings and then we'll see it in action and I will give you my full opinion on this monitor. I want to say thank you one more time for joining me. I'm excited about this product. Let's get started. All right, so real quick, plug it into the wall. We have HDMI port 1, 2, and a display port. I just want to make something very clear because I know some people are having some issues. This is a 75 Hertz monitor. However, if you are plugged in just one device and you go to HDMI 1, you are not able to get the full 75 Hertz. So there's two different kinds of HDMIs on here. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to run in HDMI 1 a Samsung DeX, and I have my desktop computer plugged into HDMI 2. Now you can also use a display port if you would like. It also has that connection. So first off, we are in HDMI 2. I have my desktop hooked up only right now. Now, as you can see on the screen, I know it's small, but we're in a native 3440 by 1440. And then as you can see, we're getting the 75 Hertz refresh rate. So if you're a PC gamer and you want that refresh rate, remember HDMI 2 is what you want. But then again, we got 2 and we'll check out both. Let's go to the next step. First off, what I like in a image, just so you can kind of get an idea where I'm going with these settings, is I like it to be bright, but not washed out bright. I like vivid colors and then the blackest black as I can get. And then of course, the fastest hertz that I can get out of a monitor I'm going to use. So go ahead and reach to the back of the monitor on the right side. There's a little button and it has a little joystick. As you can see, you have this little icon, these icons here. For now, we're going to go up and we're going to go to the menu. As you can see, we have picture, PIP, on-screen display, system and information. Now, these are going to be my settings. You are more than welcome to try out, of course, anything you want. Now, when you're in your picture settings, as you can see, it says Samsung Magic Bright. Now, I set this to custom, but they do have regular settings like you would see on a TV, standard, cinema, dynamic, contrast. I like custom because you get just a better picture, but again, you can do whatever you want. But let me show you the custom settings. Brightness, I like it to be as bright as possible without starting to mess with the blacks, but for the video, I have it all the way to 100. I find it really good about 92. Contrast right at 93 works really well. Sharpness at 60. And then the next one, we have color. If you click on color, you can see you have your red, green, and blue, and then color, temp, and gamma. Now on this particular monitor, I've played with this over and over. Color tone in normal, it just seems the best for my preference. But if you want that more natural look, like if you're watching movies, then of course you can go to warm 2. But I'm going to leave that on normal. And then the gamma, to get the darkest color, like the most vivid and not be so washed out, mode 3 works the best. I don't know if you could see this on camera, but when we start at mode 1, it's really bright, washed out, gets a little better, and then boom, mode 3 looks the best to me. Now when we back out, Samsung Magic Upscale. Now, I found that this actually does make a difference. This enhanced picture detail and vividness. So go ahead and click that. And I find that mode 2 is the best. So go ahead and turn on mode 2. Eye saver mode, if you're working late nights or you're in pure dark, go ahead and turn that on. That will help reduce strain. Game mode. Now, game mode you have off, on, or always on. Now, I don't recommend always on unless you're going to be gaming all the time. But on is sort of like a, you know, auto, if you will. And when you put this on, you're going to lose a lot of the other settings. So what we're going to do real quick is I'll show you as far as response time, it lets you pick. Now we have standard, faster, or fastest. I put it on fastest, and then picture size I left on auto. Now, the reason why I did it on auto is because this is a very wide monitor, so it's best to let it pick, especially if you're going to go between having two sources and one source. But if you're only going to stick with one source, you can just put that to wide. Now, when I go back up, game mode is on, and as you can see, I now cannot mess with any of the contrast or sharpness. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that on, and then I'm going to go over here to system. Now here's the FreeSync option. Now again, right now we're running my PC. It's a pretty powerful PC. It's running a GTX 1080. So let's just say FreeSync, you have two choices, standard, engine, or ultimate. We're going to go ahead and drop that down to ultimate. And basically what this does is it just gets rid of flicker or screen tearing. So if you're a gamer, this is just a must. So we'll go ahead, we'll turn that on. The screen will go black. That's completely normal. And then what will happen is it'll kick back on, and now it's on. Now, remember what I was saying about the HDMI ports. Now you can actually change between 1.1 and 1.2. In this case, we're going for the full 75 Hertz. I'm going to leave it on 1.2. Source detection is nice. That's if you add another device, it'll automatically kick over. So leave that on auto. And then really all of this is just up to you. If you want the power light LED on, you can change this to whatever you'd like. But as far as settings, that is all we have. Now, what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you guys what the picture and picture by picture is. And again, I'm going to be using the Samsung DeX with the note inside just to show you what it looks like and how it works. So immediately we turn this on. As you can see, DeX is loading. All right, so we have two completely different sources. We have my computer and we have DeX. Now you can do this with anything that has an HDMI or display port. And what happens is if you want to put even an Xbox X in here, you can have a game going here or you can have your work going here. Now, when you're in this mode, you can now click over to the right. As you can see, it says PIP, PBP, and now we have some more options. So first option is you can pick how you want the size to be. Basically 50-50. We can drop it down where you got it in the little corner there. Now everything I've noticed does have a little pause, but as you can see, now we have a little small box up here, and then we have the rest of the display there. And then if we switch it over to a little bigger, basically you can just move this around to however you want it to be. As you can see, the Samsung DeX is loading here. Get that from being so blurry, I apologize. And then you have the rest of, you know, your display here, and then you can adjust this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this back to 50-50, but as you can see, you have four options. So we'll go 50-50. Now, when we're in 50-50, we can do other things. And what I mean by that is you can actually, one, pick the source. And when I say source, so we have HDMI 1 or 2, and as you can see, we can also scroll into DisplayPort. Now, you can make HDMI 1 over here and HDMI 2 over here, or vice versa, but here is where you pick it. And just remember, HDMI 2 is going to give you a faster refresh rate. And then when you hit apply, it does it all for you. So now we're good. Next, we have picture size, and then right below it we have contrast. But really quickly, you can go picture size and you can pick auto for one side or wide, or, you know, auto for both. So let's go ahead and just drop those both to auto. It'll take place. And as you can see, it shrinks it down because this on the DeX is not going to fill this all the way out. But as you can see, the picture got better. But this is just something that you would play with depending on what you have going. The next, it lets you give contrast to each side. So contrast 91, and then contrast on the right is 93. And go ahead and put that, as you can see, I just have it at 91 and 93. Now, that is all of the options you have when you're in this mode. But what we're going to do now is I'll show you what it looks like when we actually move the computer around, meaning with the mouse. All right, so now I have my desktop computer on the left and the DeX on the right. If you notice, this is where you want to adjust on your computer. So this is recommending it at 100%. If I have it back and blow it up, you know, it gets bigger, but it could start messing with it kind of dragging underneath the second display. So what I recommend is anytime you switch to this mode, go ahead and adjust this, because as you can see, once it's adjusted, everything's good. And then it will drop the resolution to the left side to 720 by 1440. And basically that is what it recommends. And of course, this monitor, when you're doing this, is basically changing the resolution so you get a certain resolution for each side. Now, if you're playing a game like Fortnite, as an example, you could be playing on this side, and then of course on this side we can be doing whatever we want with our DeX. If we were to open it, it would just basically make two completely different experiences. And the nice thing about that, again, is if you work at home and you are a gamer, you can do both, right? It's pretty cool. All right, so basically here you go. We're gonna do an Excel spreadsheet on the left, and then on the right, we are hooked up to whatever device, but again, we're just on Samsung DeX, and we're gonna surf the internet, or we're just gonna do whatever we have to do over here. Now, I'm just basically showing you this to show you what you can do. Obviously, if you were to run two computers or even a gaming console, you're probably gonna get a better split screen experience. But the bottom line is, when you're looking at this, it's literally big enough to give you two screens. It's beautiful. I mean, it really does look like you have two monitors, and you don't have to have two physical monitors. So in that sense, it saves space, and it also saves you a little money on buying two monitors. I think it's awesome. So far, everything I've done with this, I've really enjoyed. It's bright, it's vivid, it's fun, and it's fast. And I have not had any issues whatsoever. And it's really, really intriguing to me, this idea. Now, I want to show you, we're going to go back and do one more thing, and I'm going to go to a single screen monitor, because everyone's so worried about, oh my gosh, it's so wide, everything's going to look bad because of how wide it is. Let me show you how to make a widescreen work for you. So quickly, we're just going to jump back over here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to our menu, and we're going to shut off picture by picture. Now, as soon as that does that, it's going to kick us back into, boom, nice and wide. Now, really quickly, I'm going to go ahead and just shut game mode off. And I'm just doing this because I just want to show you, if you're using this for business, how to make this look right in a widescreen. Forgive me, this is a little out of focus sometimes when I'm doing this because of the camera. But basically, on this wide monitor, as you can see, it doesn't look like there's big, huge gaps. Now, on a typical monitor, there would not be, because it's not a 21:9. But also, zooming in to 225% would look ridiculous. But on this, it looks fine because it's so wide, it just fills in everything. If I drop it to the 100%, as you can see, we have this huge, just wide area of nothing. And that's what a lot of people complain about. So the trick is, bump it up to whatever you feel comfortable. Now that you're there, now we can go on to different things, like, example, here's my YouTube page. Well, as you can see, there's not big gaps. It fills it up real nice. And again, 21:9, this should be really bad. Now, if I come here and I lower the zoom just on the browser, let's just dump it down to, we're at 75% right now. But as you can see, it still fills up the screen because I changed the actual setting of the display. So this is a way to make it to where everyday use, business, office, whatever it is, it's awesome because you literally can have as many open windows as you need. You could flip over to gaming, whatever it is, and you just got tons of space. As you can see, I got my game here, and then I got my bottom there. I can kick it out, and everything just fits on the screen so nicely. Now, let's see really quickly for you gamers out there, just a few seconds of gameplay. Okay, again, eye saver mode off, game mode on, response time on the fastest. Make sure to turn on low input lag and then picture size auto. Brightness to whatever you want. Now you're ready to go. Now I'm not going to do a lot of gameplay. I just want to show you guys how responsive this is. The color stays nice and vivid. It's very fluid. You don't see any dragging. And again, I have Freesync Ultimate on, but honestly, whether this is just for everyday use or business, I really think that this monitor is beautiful. It's worth the price. And you know, my son, he's really into this game. He loves it. I've tried several other games. All of them work so fast and fluid. You wouldn't even know if it wasn't like a 120 hertz monitor, in my opinion. But again, there's a little bit of gameplay. I know this is probably looking crazy, but I'm just showing you how everything just holds up so nicely. It's so fast and fluid. And then look at that. Beautiful. And then here's my YouTube video. I'm streaming this from YouTube. I'm just showing you my video just because copyrights are so crazy with YouTube. I can't show anything really anymore. But again, I don't have the best camera for filming a screen, but I love video on here. Obviously, there's video that looks much better than mine out there. I've watched a few movies. It's just a great monitor. I love the widescreen effect, and depending on the content, what you're watching, you know, you can have a wider aspect ratio. It just depends on the content. But again, for watching anything on here so far, I find it very pleasant and very pleasing. And again, this does have a headphone jack on the back, so you can, in fact, you know, just listen to your headphones and have it cranked up. Or again, if it's your PC, obviously you can have whatever sound system you want set up. So as you can see, multitasking, this is the monitor for you. I just threw up a bunch of things on the monitor to kind of give you an idea of how much real estate you actually have. If you were to ask me, I've used this now for several weeks. I definitely recommend purchasing one. I think that it would benefit someone that's using it for school or business more than a gamer. However, the nice thing is that I found that it had a very pleasant overall gaming experience. Is there better gaming monitors out there? Of course, Samsung makes some great monitors for gaming in addition to this monitor, so you could look at those if specifically gaming is what you want. But then on the other aspect, using it for my business, Excel spreadsheets, just any kind of reports, video editing, I find it to be very useful. I like the widescreen. I know a lot of people are afraid of the widescreen, and to be more than honest with you, I was one of those people. However, Samsung has done something that I think really helps that widescreen form factor take off, and that's by letting you use it as two displays. Now, I don't know if you're real familiar with all the different kind of mouse products out there, but again, I have one that you can actually control multiple devices with. So let's just say you have two PCs, or maybe you want to run your laptop and your desktop into this. You know, for business, you can't beat it. Schoolwork, you can't beat it. Video editing, you can't beat it. In this price range, I found that this is a great monitor. Samsung did a great job this year. I would recommend this monitor to you. I think that for the price, you're gonna be good. You're gonna enjoy it. It's bright, vivid, fun, and fast. And to be honest with you, it looks really cool. Now, I would have loved to have it at my desk for you. Unfortunately, I had a pipe break in my house, so we're undergoing a little bit of a remodel, but this looks just awesome on a desk. This is a definite must-buy for anyone looking for any of those reasons in 2019. All right, so that pretty much completes my two-part series on the Samsung Ultrawide monitor. I just want to finish by saying that this is a absolutely spectacular monitor. I really think for the price, whether you're a business person, a student, or a gamer, you will love this monitor, and it gives you great features at a relatively great price when you consider that this is actually 2 monitors in one. I want to stop, as always, and take a moment to remind each of you that life is so short. Don't forget to never let technology take the place of your loved ones. Please take a moment, take a whole hour, take your time to love your family, take care of each other. Go out and do something good for someone today. You know, the smallest little gesture of kindness can really change someone's day. Every day we see that this world is getting pretty much just twisted and messed up, and the only people that can change it is you and me. I want to say thank you so much for watching my video. If you have not yet subscribed, I would be absolutely honored if you do so. If I missed anything about the Samsung Ultrawide monitor, or you have any tech-related questions, please reach out to me in the comment section. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Techfanatic. But I can't wait to talk to you in the comment section and see you in the next video. And until then, I'm Techfanatic. You guys stay safe and take care. I'm out. Peace.